All right, let's dive right in. You know, we live in this age of just infinite information, but has having all the answers right at our fingertips, has it actually made us any wiser? Today, we're going to explore our very modern relationship with knowledge and this profound illusion that might just be hiding in plain sight.
So this is the central paradox, right? This is the big question we're tackling. We carry entire libraries around in our pockets, yet the world, it often feels more fragmented, more confusing, not less. How is that even possible?
To really get a handle on our situation, let's travel back in time for a second. Let's go to the age of someone like Leonardo da Vinci. For a mind like his, the entire tree of knowledge was a single, living thing. You could see the roots, the trunk, and all the branches all at once.
And that, right there, is the core difference. In Da Vinci's time, knowledge was seen as this beautiful, harmonious whole. The entire tree was visible. But today, well, today that tree has been shattered into millions of little fragments. We can spend our entire lives just studying a single leaf and completely miss the forest, or even the tree it's attached to.
And you can see this so clearly in his work, can't you? Da Vinci's understanding of anatomy, that didn't just stay in the world of medicine. No, it transformed his art, making it breathtakingly real. His study of birds wasn't just some side hobby. It was the actual blueprint for his flying machines. For him, everything was connected. Everything was interwoven.
Okay, so let's fast forward to today. Now we can really see the problem. It's not that we lack information, not at all. It's that in dividing knowledge into smaller and smaller and smaller pieces, we've totally lost sight of the whole.
I mean, look at this. We've dissected the world into all these separate fields, right? Medicine, physics, art. Each one has its own special language, its own experts. But reality doesn't care about these boxes. The universe isn't neatly divided into subjects. It all flows together, with every part affecting every other part. We're mastering the fragments, but we're forgetting the connections.
And this is where it starts to get dangerous. We study our one little leaf. Maybe it's data science, maybe it's art history, and we start to act like we're experts on the entire forest. We become so confident in our conclusions, completely forgetting just how limited our little piece of ground really is. So this kind of forces us to ask a much bigger question. What if our entire definition of knowledge is, well, flawed? Let's take a second and really challenge that core assumption. Let's just pause on that for a moment. In a world that is practically drowning in data, what does it truly mean to know something? Is it just about collecting a bunch of facts? Or could it be something else entirely?
A really powerful clue comes from a different perspective. In Chinese, the word for knowledge, 学问, is actually made up of two actions. 学, which means to learn, and 问, which means to ask. And this reveals a much deeper truth. Knowledge isn't a thing you can own. It's a process. It's this constant active dance between learning something and then questioning it.
And the Buddhist tradition puts an even sharper point on it. It says true ignorance isn't just an empty mind waiting for facts. No, true ignorance is the certainty that you already know. It's the belief that your cup is already full. That is what really keeps us blind.
This just shows all the layers we so often ignore. We hold up our single leaf of expertise and we declare it to be the whole truth. But a leaf is not its branch, and a branch is not the trunk, and the trunk is absolutely nothing without its roots.
So, okay, if we're all lost out here among the leaves, how do we find our way back? Well, the path forward is actually a path backward. It's about tracing our understanding from the super specific all the way back to the source.
The path is like a four-step journey. We consciously take our idea, our little leaf, and trace it back to the branch of knowledge it grew from. From there, we connect it to the bigger trunk that supports that whole branch. And then finally, we seek the common root of it all. So, what is this root? Well, according to these philosophies, it's not more data or another textbook. The root is described as a kind of universal awareness, the intelligence that gives rise to everything. It's not something you can analyze with your mind. It's something you have to feel, something you tap into intuitively. And this leads us to the final and maybe the most important shift of all. moving from just accumulating knowledge to actually cultivating wisdom. And that requires a really profound level of trust. This chart really illustrates our core imbalance, doesn't it? We invest so much energy trying to control every outcome based on our very limited plans. But our personal power to control things is just tiny, especially compared to the vast inherent wisdom of the world's natural systems. So, what if we just shifted our focus? Instead of fighting to control everything, what if we exercised our infinite capacity to just trust? To simply observe the rhythms of life and then align ourselves with that incredible flow.
And this really brings us to the core takeaway. At the end of the day, the goal of learning isn't just to fill our heads with facts. The real goal is to awaken to the profound and beautiful interconnectedness of absolutely everything. I want to leave you with this one last thought. When we can finally let go of the need to master every single leaf, when we can truly see the magnificent whole tree for what it is, our entire perspective shifts. We stop trying to own knowledge, and instead, we just bow in reverence before it.